I am back with another conversation, and I wanted you all to meet Amanda Lewan. I met Amanda, gosh, years ago when Michael and I came back. Well, I came back to the Detroit area first time for Michael with Bottles Nation, and we took up office space in this place called Bamboo. Amanda is one of the co-founders of a Bamboo, and she does so many other things. Amanda, hello.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, I wanted to talk with you because you've been doing so many amazing things in the Midwest and in Michigan. So, for folks who don't know who the heck you are, what is Bamboo? When did you start it? And what is the mission of it?
Yeah, so Bamboo started about 10 years ago. We were a group of friends and we wanted a space to come work together on new ideas. Believe it or not, 10, 12 years ago, there was not a co working space in downtown Detroit yet. So we were in our like mid to late 20s. We had all kind of worked for a couple years, but we had startup ideas. We pooled $5,000 in a loan from our business partner, Mike, for Lita's dad, bought IKEA furniture and opened this like loft space. It was very grassroots. We started doing founder fireside chats. We brought in venture capitalists and we just really grew the startup community. Back then, we were always passionate about tech, but we realized like Detroit kind of needed a little bit of everything. So that first 100 members was kind of like a mix of all kinds of people and backgrounds and places. And they all wanted to be a part of what was happening or starting to happen in downtown Detroit. So it's 2013, a couple years after bankruptcy, a lot entrepreneurial energy starting. And we actually always thought we would work on other business ideas, but Bamboo ended up being the idea that slowly over a couple of years morphed into something that I knew I had to step into a role and grow the company in a way that could be sustainable. But our mission is to build a more inclusive entrepreneur ecosystem. We support a ton of startups, small businesses. I love working with early stage tech companies. We've hosted pre accelerators throughout the last 3 years. And I just think it's really fun. It's a way to boost the community.
What was that like for you all in terms of your own virtual trust fall, where you all got together to start this in 2013 during quite a tumultuous time in Detroit?
We were very naive, to be honest. And I think that served us in a way. Like we didn't really know what we were doing. We just thought we needed a space for everyone to come together and help each other start companies. I think, too, if you think about it in the reality, Detroit got hit really hard in that season. Almost everyone I knew was like laid off, job searching. If you were graduating from college, there just wasn't many opportunities. So sometimes entrepreneurship was a more viable path depending on where you were at, in your career. And I think it also, my friend Monica Wheat says that it takes a crisis to create change. And I think people started to realize we've got to invest in other types of industries and have a little bit more of a diverse economy. So it was kind of this just fun idea between a few friends, this grassroots community. That's still the spirit of who we are. We've since then grown. We now develop our own properties. We manage over 70 million in real estate assets, 25 million of which we've developed ourselves with investors and partners who are all committed to supporting the next generation of entrepreneurs. Putting Bamboo Midtown in partnership with the Jefferson Hub, which is one of the larger locations. So that's
I've
opening
heard
right
that.
now in partnership
Wow.
with Detroit. And then Bamboo number 5 is going to be Grand Rapids, which is opening in December. Really cool art gallery space. That one is all of our locations are kind of like centers for entrepreneurship. They're not just co-working. We have office hours, we have workshops. You can literally bump into investors, other founders, other people building companies. And it's that kind of energy that like keeps you motivated to keep building a company.
And it's so great to see that here. And when you said something a couple beats ago about we have to do other things in terms of industry, and obviously Detroit, auto capital of the world, at a certain moment in time. And to be very frank, that's partly why I left. So in '98, when I finished college, I left Detroit proper because every internship, every job that I had or that was available was in the auto industry.
Yeah.
My mom was still working at GM, thank you, GM, but it was just so much for me and I just needed to expand. And that's why it's so exciting when I think about my kids when they're coming up or people now that are moving to Detroit. There's so many other things you can explore in terms of industry. And it does feel so new to me because I do bump into founders. I do bump into folks with cool ideas. And there aren't as many people doing it as like maybe in New York, Chicago, LA. I get the sense that if you have an interesting idea, I'd love your POV on this. If you have an interesting idea or a concept and you're looking for a co-founder or looking for someone to assist with whether it's early stage, seed, or just introduce you to somebody else. Over the years, the last 12 years of your experience in that realm and bamboo, how do you think that vibe is and that ecosystem to get someone here locally from, this is interesting for me to want to maybe do, to potentially having a proof of concept?
Well, I think there's a lot to unpack there. I think the ecosystem's changed a ton since that 2013 story to now. We have corporate innovation centers. We have had organic unicorn companies that have exited, and those team members are angel investing and starting companies now. So there is a little bit more momentum. There's also a lot of diverse groups like Black Tech Saturdays, now national, or if not global, like really cultivating the talent in the tech ecosystem. There's a lot of support for the early stage, in Michigan. Like, you can get grant funding, you can go to smart zones, you can come to co-working spaces and attend meetups, and usually you can find those first few hires. There is really great talent too for scaling up, but I think there's a little bit more of a gap in support for growth stage companies, which I think it's just like the natural evolution of an emerging ecosystem. Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question, but there's
No, it does. It does.
support more on the early stage side, I think.
It does. And I think I do think you did answer the question, but the other part of it too is how difficult do you think it is to get to that support, meaning a meeting with somebody or
Oh, easy.
mentorship?
Yeah, I think you can get plugged in easily. You can come to events. You can
That's
literally
what I
walk into a
noticed. Yeah.
bamboo space or another type of space. I think we're very much like we are Midwest humble, so you don't hear about the talent in the companies. Even right now in Grand Rapids, I'm meeting so many tech companies. I'm like, I had no idea there was this much of a tech ecosystem in Grand Rapids. In Ann Arbor, every day I meet like executive level talent that's like working in big tech, but just hanging out in their house in Ann Arbor, or like super interesting student startups and inventions spinning off from University of Michigan. But we're very, very humble. We don't tell our stories. So you do kind of have to get coffee intros, get connected, come to a few events a year. But generally, people in Michigan are very collaborative. We want to support businesses here. People are moving back. A lot of people boomerang back, like your story. Maybe they leave and go work in the valley or the coast, and then they start to have a family and they want to be somewhere more affordable or climate friendly. And Michigan has a lot of great of those opportunities. So I definitely think it's a very warm, friendly, welcoming ecosystem.
And you mentioned people moving with families. I also marvel. Amanda is also a working mother. She has two little ones, and it's really amazing to watch how much. And I'm not going to use how much you're balancing, but truly, when you are a parent with kids of any ages and you're also building things at the same time, I'm sure your days are
You're
flying by
just
right.
kinda, like, signing up for double duty, like, it's just wild, like, it has its crazy moments. We're kind of in one of those crazy moments right now, but it's also really fun.
Well, I'm actually thankful for your crazy moment time because Amanda is actually getting ready to literally drive across the state to GR and she was able to squeeze in a chat with me. Amanda, before I let you go, is there anything else that you wanted to share about the growth of Bamboo or folks who are interested? How can they join Bamboo? How can they be part of that system or perhaps visit or work out of different offices?
Yeah, so you don't have to join our co-working community to be a part of it. You can go to our website, check out our free meetups, our programming. That's just an easy way to drop in and get connected to the broader ecosystem. If you do wanna join, we have 5 locations now: downtown Detroit, Midtown at the Jefferson Hub, which is officially soft open in October, fully opening in November. We're in downtown Ann Arbor. We are in Royal Oak, and we are opening in Grand Rapids in December. December 4th is the grand opening. I guess I feel confident enough telling everyone that. And
Okay.
yeah, I think, just come hang out, learn about the Michigan ecosystem. If you're watching this and you're not in Michigan, feel free to just come visit anytime you're back. We'd love to see you and plug you in and tell you about all the great things happening here.
Amanda, thank you so much for squeezing time in to talk about all the amazing things that you're launching and starting. I'm excited to check out the GR space at the summit at
Midwest
Midwest.
House Summit,
Yes.
December 3rd and 4th will be our Grand Rapids grand opening. So we'd love to see you guys there. Thank you for sharing all the stories about our community and ecosystem right now. We really appreciate
Awesome.
it.
For sure. It's good to be home. Thanks, Amanda.
See ya.
Bye.